Kings fans. All right, so that was an exciting way to start the 2019-2020 season. A 124-96 loss to the Phoenix Suns in Phoenix. Man, I mean, just about everything that could go wrong went wrong in this game. So let's start with some of the biggest takeaways from this. First of all, we had Marvin Bagley, who I didn't even really notice the play on the live broadcast, but he fractured his right thumb, and he will be out for 4 to 6 weeks. Not a good look. De'Aaron Fox took a shot from DeAndre Ayton to the knee. He was evaluated after the game. Turns out he actually went to shoot around, practiced. He's going to be A-okay. Buddy Hield sprained his ankle conveniently against DeAndre Ayton. He's going to be fine as well. James Ham putting out the tweet, like you've seen, that Buddy Hield and De'Aaron Fox were at shoot-around and will play in tonight's game against the Portland Trailblazers. So honestly, not too much to unpack with this game. I mean, it was a disaster. The first half went pretty well. Buddy Hield was on fire, 22 points, made 5 threes in that opening half. But from the middle of the third quarter onwards, it was just a complete disaster. I mean, isolation offense, which led to just turnover after turnover after turnover. Okay, that's a word. 26 of them in total to just 17 assists for Sacramento. That's not going to get it done. Phoenix, 68 paint points. That is just unacceptable for a team that doesn't necessarily even pride themselves on scoring in the paint. They're more of a perimeter-centric offense. Man, Kings got abused in the paint. Kelly Oubre slashing, cutting. DeAndre Ayton being a big muscular guy, putting in work. Devin Booker getting to the rack. I thought Devin Booker played a really good game. We played good defense on him. I liked how Harrison Barnes did check him, didn't allow him to catch fire from deep, but he really had a good game facilitating for his team. I thought he played pretty good defense on Buddy Hield in the second half as well. So some bright spots, if you can find any, for the Kings. I mean, Buddy Hield's first half, I liked the energy Corey Joseph brought off the bench, especially in that first half, really active on the defensive end. Got a couple of steals, really good defense on both Javon Carter and Devin Booker, so I thought Corey Joseph brought a nice spark off the bench. But basically all negatives around the board, Kings fans. Not only just a disastrous blowout loss, but 3 injuries, and luckily it was only one, I say, that will keep any of our players out for an extended period of time in Marvin Bagley. But man, it was just like one of those bad luck nights where everything was seeming to go against the Kings. I mean, you talk about the 3 best, or at least most valuable players on the Kings going down with some form of injury. In addition to this loss, it was just literally injury to insult. Terrible game all around. But hey, that's why they play 82 games here in the National Basketball Association. Plenty of games upcoming. And luckily, we get to kind of forget about this Phoenix game because we got our home opener tonight, October 25th, against the Portland Trailblazers. They're coming to town. Golden One Center is going to be rocking. They got the purple shirts everywhere. I'm a little sad I can't be at the game myself, but my Kings Pass, it didn't include the home opener, but we all good. We're going to get out Monday. It's okay. So what do we need to do as the Sacramento Kings to sort of shake off some of that bad juju from that Phoenix game? I think most importantly is Marvin Bagley's out. Nemanja Bjelica will slide into that starting power forward role. It's going to be super important against Portland to hit the glass. They've got Whiteside and Zach Collins as their starting big men, both who can really rebound the ball. We know Whiteside, who spent some time in Sacramento. I mean, we drafted him. He's about 7'2", 7'3", if I'm not mistaken. Just huge guy, really active on the glass, and he could pose some problems, especially with Bagley out of the scenario. Nemanja, Rashawn Holmes, they're going to have to really get after it, crash the glass. Obviously, with Portland, the biggest thing to stopping their attack is going to be their 2-headed monster at their 1 and 2. Of course, it's Dame Time, Damian Lillard, and CJ McCollum. I think a big key to this game is going to be to prevent them from going off. If we can contain them to, let's say, about 40 to 45 points between the two of them, that would be about a 20-piece per player. I think the Kings have a really good shot of winning because Portland, they kind of have a tough time, and if you watch their game versus Denver, they had a bit of a tough time generating offense outside of those two guys. Another key is to really contain Anthony Simons. And this is a kid that came basically straight from high school, if I'm not mistaken. He went to IMG Academy in Florida, got drafted by the Portland Trailblazers, basically redshirted a year. But he had a really nice game against Denver, and I know he really cooked Sacramento last year. Really impressive slashing combo guard that can pose some problems off Portland's bench. So they're pretty relentless with their guard attack. They also brought in Kent Bazemore, who's just a really active defender and pushes the ball in transition, athletic, scrappy, mean. We're going to have to do what we can to try to contain those guys off the bench. But all in all, I like this matchup against Portland. I think we play Portland pretty well. Now, ideally, we'd like to be at full strength. Obviously, having Marvin Bagley out 4 to 6 weeks is a very bad sign for the Kings, especially as they make a playoff push in the Western Conference. But hey, it's the NBA. Injuries happen. Next man up. Kings have to get out there tonight and put in some work. I like this matchup, but ultimately, the Capital City prediction of the night. I know there was so much optimism there, ladies and gentlemen. Prediction of the night is Portland 111, Sacramento 101. I think it's going to be a pretty close game throughout. I think we're going to do a decent job of containing Lillard and CJ in the first half. But then I think we're going to have a little bit of a mini second half collapse, as we were so prone to seeing last season. And if the Phoenix game you're watching now was any indication of what this season's going to be like, the team needs to tighten it up in the third and fourth quarters when it's really winning time. So folks, if you're heading out to the game, I hope you have an awesome time. That's going to do it for this preview and look back at this debacle that was this Phoenix opener. Hey, if you enjoyed, leave a like. If you want to see more, make sure you're subscribing. And I will see you guys next time. Peace.